Hi, my name is Renee Nelson, and I'm Denver, Colorado. The reason why I'm here is because I'm just finally fed up with the whole thing. I used to just bark to my friends about how upset I was, and finally people said, do something. So then I thought, okay, I'll call the White House, I'll call my senators, I'll send emails, and I don't even like email. But I still feel like I'm not being heard. So I see all these people stand up and they start to protest across the world. All across North Africa, all across the Middle East, even in this country, which is finally fantastic. They're standing up and they're saying it's not okay anymore. And I looked up and I said, that's how I feel too. So it's like, I come to a little protest, I look online, I see where it is, because I want to buy something that's made in America. I try really hard, and what is it, 80–90% of all goods are made in China. When I find a sweater that's made in Vietnam, I'm so happy because it's not made in China, and I want to buy American. I want to see American people, the middle class, actually rising up again like they used to. Not with signs, but with financial goods, that they can actually afford to stay in their houses. That mortgage companies don't screw America for a buck. It's wrong. I want to see corporate companies actually pay their taxes. I really want that. I think it's fair. If I'm paying mine and I only make $36,000 a year, sometimes $40,000 on a good year, I want them to pay for their millions of profits that they make in a quarter. It's not too much to ask. The final straw for me was that all across the United States they're cutting teachers. If we don't get some education in our youth right now, we're so screwed. It's not okay. So finally I'm standing up, come out, and I'm going to just hold up my little sign and say, please come join us, because it's just no longer okay.
Hi there, my name is Doug Lindsay.
Okay, Doug.
I am going to be turning 53 here in just a few months, and I feel like I have watched my country, the United States of America, just change, just morph, transform in my lifetime in a way that I just really don't like. I feel like I'm very much a patriot, and I loved the way it used to be, and it was certainly not perfect, but it seemed like it was much more fair. I actually worked for what 100 years ago was the largest corporation in America, United States Steel Corporation, 100 years ago. And I worked for that company in the late 70s and early 80s, and they decided it was more profitable to take apart the steel mill that I worked at and sell it to Egypt so they could make pipeline over there, even though, despite the fact we need steel and pipe and everything else here in the United States. And I've watched, I remember a friend of mine a few months or a year after it closed said, come on down to Galveston Bay. They're loading it up, the whole plant up on barges to ship it to Egypt and things like that. We used to be, in 1979, we were the largest importer of raw materials and largest exporter of manufactured goods in the world, and within 10 years, we're the largest importer of manufactured goods. So, this whole thing, and there's been this huge process. John F. Kennedy talked about it, even Ronald Reagan talked about it, where behind the scenes, it's never on, the front page of the Denver Post or on CBS 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock news or whatever, but every day there are these lobbyists down in Washington, D.C. in the state capital at Denver trying to get loopholes drilled in the tax code so they don't have to pay any taxes. In the meantime, we keep getting more in debt, and people are worried about the deficit. All they have to do is raise the corporate tax rate back to something close to what it used to be, even 15 years ago, and a lot of that will disappear very quick. So I'm an economic liberal, and this is a way I've decided to take action and express my opinion. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Jordana Pilmanis, and I am here protesting with US Uncut in front of the Bank of America because I'm just tired of corporations and banks paying zero taxes, especially banks like Bank of America who received bailout money, taxpayer money, millions and millions of dollars. And in the meantime, my son's school district is going to have to cut $400 million from their budget. 1 in 4 teachers will be laid off. And I'm just not willing to stand for it. Cutting services, cutting safety net, they're cutting back on recycling. It's ridiculous. I don't understand why the average tax paid by corporations is less than 6% when the rest of us, hardworking citizens, you know, who are either slightly above poverty line or for sure making way less than 100,000 have to pay our taxes. That doesn't make any sense to me at all. Government's basically right in the backs of the people, and we're not going to stand for it anymore.
I'm really tired of Bank of America and ExxonMobil and FedEx, Verizon, all the major corporations that all of us deal with, Wells Fargo, in so many ways, you know, that we just can't get away from inevitably. It's almost like you're going to deal with them regardless. They've got you in that way. Whether you choose to go to Walmart or not, somebody's going to get you that is not paying their fair share of taxes. I hear about this stuff about the Cayman Islands too. You know, I read an article yesterday that talked a little bit about so many of these corporations they actually used the term in the modern day story. I was blown away. Mail drop. A mail drop. I was a fraud analyst for Citicorp back in the late 80s, and a mail drop was what we dealt with fraud credit card rings from out of country. And that was their tool, their biggest tool that made it possible for them to get away with this, was one central pretend address that was actually a private post office box company. And it's just not funny. It's really not funny. I have 2 grandchildren that I am proud to consider Obama generation children. And it just makes me mad that this just keeps pushing and pushing. Things like taking our governments away in Michigan under crisis? Give me a break. This is crazy. I really think that's probably all I should say because I'm just going to cry. Thanks.
Yeah, I've been going to some of the rallies. I started here a while back when I heard about U.S. Uncut. U.S. Uncut, I guess we started, as UK Uncut, and it came about during the time when Wisconsin was going through a lot of their issues. So at that point in time I got very fired up and started watching a lot of this stuff on TV, and to the point where I've seen a lot of this before but kind of figured that I needed to get out there and just kind of be a part of it. And as I've heard that a lot of the corporations that are out there that aren't paying their share of the money by having all these tax havens overseas, then I felt like that was a large part of the problem. It's not the people who are the teachers or the union workers or any of these other people who are really the problem. Is the corporations aren't paying enough into the coffer to be able to pay for a lot of these things, and they're cutting a lot of services and other things that really shouldn't be cut. That's our bread and butter that we've had for years and years. So I'm out here just to support that and to hope that we can make a difference.
Hi there, my name is Monique Ray, 21. I'm here today because I feel personally, affected by all of this. My family always lived in poverty, and anything, food stamps, I've been on food stamps multiple times, insurance provided by the government, and when there's less taxes being paid, to the government for that, then, me and my sister go without health insurance, go without, stuff that we need every day, go to the doctor, in which, I know so many people that have been rejected on food stamps and stuff like that, going hungry every day because, these corporations, they're, their CEOs and their presidents and whatnot going on vacations every 2 months for months at a time, going and enjoying that money, and this is a reward for us. This is a bonus. It's like, yeah, for doing what? Taking these thousands, billions freaking taxes. It's so upsetting. But I'm here to represent, to definitely show that Bank of America is bad for America, for taking the money that could be going into young people's hands, into their mouths, into their bodies with medicine and anything else that would be better than going and enjoying a martini on the beach.